Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, it is another day with prolific writing read through, and today we are doing Feather Sharp as Knives. That's part two. So if you guys just read part one, I'm going to have it over here. If you haven't read part one, I'm going to have it in a little thing over here so you guys can see it. But guys, this is really fun. Right now, Anselmo is talking to the other lion candidates in the room, and he's looking for a patron. Ulysses is in the room, as well as Venezia, and a bunch of others as well. And so we're getting a bit more of the setting and the background of everything that is going on. So let's dive right into this and see what more we can find in this story as Anselmo tries to get his patronage for his lion candidacy. So the Doge walked over, followed by the last few words were when he goes over to all the jerky kids over there, and the other soldiers perked up. Even Enzio seemed interested, and Anselmo tensed his jaw. What makes you think I know her? Because remember, Venezia was making nice with Anselmo earlier. She seemed pretty friendly. And why would you care about that? Taking you around and introducing you all the higher ups, playing favorites, that gives you an unfair advantage. That means the higher ups, like your father, Admiral of the Lions, since we're talking about unfair advantages. Enzio laughed, and Raphael smacked his feet off the chair. Now, part two. The Doge walked over, followed by the short man with the mustache. The soldiers snapped to their feet with a salute. Ave Doge, they said in unison. Doge Albizi held up his hands for them to sit. This is Primo. Welcome and congratulations, soldiers. In 1 week, you will begin the process to become lions. You will be challenged mentally and physically. You've all proven yourself worthy of the task. I have full confidence every one of you will succeed. He turned toward the crowd. A servant rang a bell. The crowd quieted down and faced the Doge. Signori and Signore, Doge Albizi said, I present to you the lion candidates for this year. He gestured for them to stand, and the audience applauded politely. The Doge held up his hands, and the room quieted again. Now is the time we ask for your generosity in sponsoring our candidates. As per the rules of the labyrinth, they cannot enter without your patronage. You don't need to cover all their costs, but each needs at least one patron to buy them at least a spear. Oh man. So please help these soldiers and change the rest of their lives. Admirals and vice admirals, remember that you are prohibited from sponsoring any candidates. We will start from Captain Raphael Galbani. That's good. So that makes sense as to why Venezia wasn't able to help anybody as well as the other guy, because yeah, they can't get people inside. And Selma and the others sat while Captain Galbani remained standing. Doge Albizi held out a hand toward the captain. Who is willing to buy this fine soldier new weapons and armor for the labyrinth? A stuffy middle-aged man raised a hand. Signor Ruzzini, Grassi, is anyone willing to go higher? Cover his gear and a quarter of the 50,000 ducat entrance fee. What? 50,000? Anselmo had saved 20,000. That's what the entrance fee was before he left for Zorzi. No one had told him they'd raised it. If he didn't get a patron, he would never be able to enter. Snap, so he actually got blocked out. Wow, okay. Signori Gritti, I think we can go higher for the son of our esteemed Lion Admiral Gabani. Gear and a half of the entrance fee. It didn't take long for the first man to raise his hand. He glared at Signor Gritti. Signor Rizzini, the Doge's voice turned amused. Business partners turning against each other. Everyone laughed, except Signor Gritti and Rizzini, whose glowers pierced each other. Let's raise it to gear and 3/4 of the entrance fee. Signor Gritti raised his hand. I'll cover it all, Signor Rizzini said. Everyone laughed again, privy to some joke that Anselmo had no part in. Grazie, Signore, for your generosity, and congratulations to Captain Galbani. Signor Enzio Colombo, please stand. And so it went, soldiers getting auctioned off like fish at the market. It's a good simile. No one had told Anselmo this was the process for getting a patron, that you were sold like a piece of meat. Some soldiers were sponsored by their own families. Some only had one willing patron. Others had bidding wars like Captain Galbani. Must be really special dude. Signor Ruzzini outbid his apparent business partner, Signor Gritti, 2 more times. Ooh, sounds like Ruzzini is just stealing everything. It was dizzying to see how much wealth flaunted in such a manner, dizzying and disgusting. Yeah, but if you're making serious cheddar, 50K here, 50K there, ain't nada. And yet Salmo couldn't wait for his turn. He was the biggest one there and clearly the strongest. The others were not small men, but Anselmo's shirt and doublet strained against his shoulders. He's feeling himself. Although perhaps that belied his poverty, that he hadn't been able to order a new shirt for the event. Oh, right, it's tight, it's small because it's too tight. Would that make people disdain or pity him? Or perhaps they'd see it as him boasting his strength. That could only be good. These people seem to love a big ego. One by one, the lion candidates received their patrons. It went faster than Anselmo had expected, though not fast enough for the anticipation swirling in his gut. Surely he would incite a bidding war, as well as Captain Albani has. Last, we have Lieutenant Anselmo Erradi, the Doge said, and Anselmo stood. Who was willing to cover our only lieutenant's gear? Oh, so he's like the lowest in rank. Going for it. No one raised their hand. No one said anything. That sucks. People looked from one to the other, shifted their feet, refused to do more than glance at Anselmo. Surely we have one soul willing to help this fine soldier, Jose Albizi said, though there was no hope in his voice. He was merely going through the motions. Wow. Well, it's all posturing with these people, right? So they don't know this dude. They're not going to try and help him. At the front of the group, Fleet Admiral Dandalo's face was somber, though a glower flickered across her face. King Contarini beside her. He looked around the crowd, bewilderment on his features. A new sword, at least? The Dorche's voice rang in Anselmo's ears. It was the only sound in the room. There was no rustling of skirts, no patters, servants' feet. Even they had stopped to watch Anselmo's embarrassment. Wow. Lieutenant Erlati served valiantly at Zorzi, and I'm sure he'd like an upgrade from his old Xiphus to a fine copus like the captain's. Okay, you're using these are Roman weapons, right? Pretty sure. It's a nice little hint there. But I guess with the Italian theme, that makes sense. A hand rose, and Anselmo's heart jumped, but it was only a woman covering a cough. Oh man, that's too good. Doge Albizi turned to Anselmo. Anselmo had never felt so small. Without a patron, lieutenant, I'm afraid I'll cover it all. King Contarini's voice rang out across the room. Pardon? Doge Albizi nearly shook in surprise. Are you sure, Your Majesty? I've never been more sure of anything in my life, the king nodded at Anselmo. Everyone deserves a chance to improve their situation, and Lieutenant Arati is a fine soldier from what I hear. But it's allowed for a foreigner to sponsor lion candidates, is it not? It is, Fleet Fladmos, Dandala said. She smiled at Ulysses. Unprecedented, but not forbidden. Perfect, King Contarini clapped his hands together. Everyone jumped at the sound and launched into whispers. Their faces held in neither kindness nor joy. The king grinned. There's something going on here. Because either Anselmo's a total dweeb and nobody cared about him, or there's a plot. There's a plot afoot. Because there's no way he got shut out like that. Come on, guys. Come on. Very well. Doge Albizi's voice didn't agree with his words. Yeah. You can tell Primo talked to some people. I already know Primo talked to some people, I bet. Because that dude is trying to sabotage. Doge Albizi's voice didn't agree with his words. He bowed to King Contarini, who was already walking toward Anselmo. Patrons, please take a few minutes to meet with your soldiers. Dinner will start shortly. Grazie, Your Majesty, Anselmo said as soon as the king reached him. King Contarini still had a huge grin on his face as he clapped a hand on Anselmo's arm. Let's talk away from these blowfish. He led Anselmo to the far side of the room. Everyone watched as they walked away, including the fleet admiral, who still smiled. Why, sir? Anselmo couldn't stop himself from asking. As I said, you deserve it. Ulysses leaned in, and his grin grew. Plus, his voice quieter but full of amusement. As much as I enjoy Rialto, sometimes it's fun to piss off all these stuffy nobles. Actually, it's always fun. Anselmo laughed. Relief washed over him, making him laugh harder than he normally would. Grazie, Your Majesty. Grazie, Muso. Ulysses waved over a servant bearing wine and took 2 glasses, one of which he gave to Anselmo. Please call me Ulysses, he held up to his wine. To your future. Anselmo had almost failed. For a few minutes he had, but Ulysses had swooped in like a hawk and saved Anselmo. He'd saved Anselmo's future with Imelda, and someone would be indebted to Ulysses for the rest of his life. As long as he was with Imelda, it was worth it. Anselmo raised his glass to my future. Oh my gosh, what has she done? What has the author done? Now, if anyone is paying attention, right, Anselmo, the guy we just read, is in love with Imelda, the main character. Now, the thing about Imelda is that she is betrothed, right, to Ulysses, the guy who just sponsored him. So there is some juicy drama afoot, and we are about to detonate into all type of tribulations and triumphs and trials and everything in between. The drama is about to get huge in this. That was incredible. That was a lot of fun to read, and wow, I am excited. But wow, wow, that was really well read. Talk about a great beat and really digging in and juicing up the story. So this is going to be fun, guys. A good example of really kind of playing a little, how would I say this? A little, not double jeopardy, but just the love triangle that is about to detonate here, and the conflict of interest and the conflict of these characters. It's about to get very interesting because we have a very interesting conflict coming, and we can anticipate this because literally to his future, to my future, he saved Anselmo's future, and he is indebted to Ulysses for the rest of his life. As long as he was with Imelda, it was worth it. But Ulysses is the guy that's going to take Imelda away from him. So wow, this is gonna be sexy. I'm super excited to see how this turns out. I can say the author has done a fantastic job, and I'm super excited to see this. So, guys, keep it up, and I'm excited to see what turns out. So happy, and yeah, this is just nuts. This is incredible. Anyway, yeah, let's take it from there. Stay happy, stay healthy. If you guys are enjoying this, please subscribe. Check out the playlist of the walkthrough right about here. And hey, guys, be mindful. Please subscribe and like the video so we can see more of these videos of the read-throughs, and you can learn a bit more tips. This is a pretty good chapter. So this was really just about how to set up a sort of double jeopardy issue where we got more than one issue coming in all together. And so I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Anyway, guys, check out Feathers as Sharp as Knives and in the link below, and look for a copy in the near future as you guys are enjoying the series with me. All right, take care, stay happy, stay healthy. Peace.